This here, I think, is Lingonberry. See that little red berry there? But unfortunately, these are not in season. Oop, just came off. Yeah, unfortunately, these are not in season yet. As you can see, they're quite green. I'm hoping to find one that's maybe off-season. You can tell that they're a little bit different than blueberries because the leaves are a little bit darker and a little shiny. So here's the bilberry. You see those leaves compared to this one. This one's a little bit, the one under my thumb here is a little bit darker and a little shinier. That's a lingonberry, I think. And it makes sense because these are not in season yet. I came a little bit before the lingonberry season. You know, usually people have like this rake that they use. I think I found a method for getting these bilberries out without a rake. You just kind of make a rake with your fingers, put it underneath the plant like this, and you pull up, and you get them, just like that. I mean, you get unripe ones this way too, so those have to go back to nature, but that's a good way to do it if you see like a whole bunch of ripe ones. They come off the plant pretty easily, so that's not too hard to do. I am in Estonia right now, and Estonia is very special because the seasons here are a little bit different as far as fruit goes. So while I was in Finland, I was out and about, went to a bunch of markets. I didn't see lingonberries anywhere. However, Estonia is a bit warmer, so here lingonberries are in season earlier. There are some that aren't fully ripe, so I think we're maybe a hair early even for lingonberries here in Estonia, but there are some that are fully ripe. Like inside this bowl I have like a whole mixture, some that are very ripe, some that are very unripe, and you know, everywhere in between. So I'm going to start by trying one that is very ripe. They look a lot like blueberries, maybe a little bit like cranberries. That's because they are in the same genus as blueberries and cranberries. They're in the Vaccinium genus, so they look a little similar, and they're probably going to taste a little similar too, but let's find out. Sour. Very sour. It's not 10, but I'd say that's like an 8, like a solid 8 out of 10 for sourness. And that was one of the very ripe ones. Let me try another very ripe one. They have a slight bitterness to them. Kind of like the bitterness that you would get from like a grapefruit, but not the flavor of grapefruit, just the bitterness of grapefruit. The flavor is like a cross between a blueberry and a cranberry. The sweetness is good. It's not super high though. I'd say it's around the sweetness of an apple, maybe a little less actually. I'd say it's like a 4 out of 10 on sweetness for the very ripe ones. I'm going to try one that's like a little unripe. So this one is kind of halfway there. It's a little pinkish, a little light on one side, a little darker on the other. I'd say it's about the same as far as tartness goes, but it doesn't taste fully developed the way that the very red ones are. They're good though. They're very tart. How people usually eat these is with some sugar on them. You actually can take these and mash them with sugar, and they are then shelf stable for a while. There's like a natural preservative in these. The person selling this, I'm sure, was not selling this for people to eat out of hand. This is something that people will take and cook with. I don't think too many people around here just pop these in their mouth the way that someone would with blueberries. This is something you're gonna make a jam with. You're gonna crush them and put them on, mix them into your porridge or something, but it's not something you're gonna eat straight. Because lingonberries are usually eaten with sugar, I decided to eat them with sugar. Unfortunately, my Airbnb didn't have any granulated sugar, they just had sugar cubes, so I did the next best thing. I made like a lingonberry compote. I took some sugar cubes and dissolved them into water, in boiling water, and mixed the berries into that. So kind of made like a little bit of like a jam, I guess. So this looks really good. It smells a little bit like raspberries and cranberries. That's really good. The sugar helps. I think it probably could use actually a little bit more sugar than I used. I put probably like 10 sugar cubes in here, but they are quite tart. That bitterness and tartness that it still has reminds me like exactly of cranberry sauce. Digging deeper, there's probably a few little bonus flavors in there. I'm getting a little bit of like a raspberry jam taste and a little bit of a blueberry taste. But mostly I'm getting cranberry sauce. That's really tasty. I think this would be a good thing to use like people would use cranberry sauce. You know, people like putting cranberry sauce on, you know, their turkey and their mashed potatoes and all that. This would work for that. This would work on meat. It's got that kind of taste, but it would still work really well with sweet things as well. If you put this on ice cream or on porridge or on toast, it would be great. Lingonberry juice is a thing, and that's really good too. And tastes very similar to this. I think lingonberry juice is usually processed quite a lot, so it doesn't have quite so much of a bitterness to it. But yeah, even with that little bit of bitterness that it naturally has, I like it. Yeah, it's good. So I'm back home and I have picked up a jar of Lingonberry jam, a commercially available one from Al Johnson's, the musician. And it's got a nice little, I don't know, it's like a goat or something on there. This is actually from Sweden, and you can get this yourself on Amazon.com. That's what I did. So if you actually want to try this, I'll put a link below. And as you can see, I've eaten almost the entire jar. So I've been eating this a lot, and I think that I can give you an opinion on this and how it compares to the one that I made in Finland using the fresh berries. And it is quite a bit different, just to give myself a reminder, an excuse to eat some more of this, because I do like it quite a lot. This one here is different than the one that I made. The ones that I had in Estonia, I got right at the beginning of the season, so some of them I think were not like fully ripe. This one I think they use very, very mature berries, so those are going to be a little less tart. Honestly, I do like the one that I made better, because that one had more punch to it. This one is basically just cranberry sauce. If I really dig, I can maybe pick up a few little notes in there that are different. Yeah, like a hint of a blueberry taste is in there. But I think cranberries have that too. This one's maybe a little bit more so. So again, I'll put a link to where to get this in the description below, or if you want, go to IKEA. IKEA usually has Lingonberry jam available as well. So yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, before you click out, I want to give a very special thank you to AltPod, Smarter Every Day, and the Harbor Leaf Tea Company. They are mega patrons over on Patreon.com. Patreon.com, if you haven't heard of it, it is how this channel happens. It's how I get all the funding to go on the trips I go on and how I get all the fruit that I try. So if you're interested in supporting my channel, check out the link in the description below. Another thing is that I have t-shirts for sale. Those are also available in the description below as well. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.